teams. Thought defensively, they're going to get a lot of credit, and deservedly so. 3 turnovers, 11 sacks, and really just overall extremely disruptive. But, I thought that, the special team set the tone early. It popped out the first kickoff, and we scored on one play. I thought our offense took advantage of some of those turnovers. We took advantage of the fake punt conversion, and it was a little rocky there in the third quarter trying to find a way to get a few first downs. The defense kept us in it, but then the offense, we might not have scored a whole lot there in the fourth quarter, but we took a ton of time off the clock. We scored a field goal, which made it a 4-score game at that point. Excuse me, a 3-score game with them needing 3 touchdowns and all 2-point conversions as well. And then, we were able to run the clock out there the last couple series. So, unbelievable win. I think it's important to note that, we hadn't gone anywhere. We've been here all along. We were banged up. We were beat up. We were tired. We were exhausted. And in the month of October, that's not an excuse. That's reality. And our guys fought through it. And they fought through that adversity, and they never wavered, and they never stopped having confidence. And when you get the band back together and you get everybody healthy and everybody fresh and everybody doing their job, for the love, genuine. I mean, we're not talking, again, not the love that, hey, love you, whatever. I know I've said it ad nauseum, love you, bro. No, it's I love you, my brother. And, when you play like that, as hard as these guys play, and as talented as they are, at least our ones and our key backups, then we can play with anybody in the country. And we proved that again tonight. That was a heck of a football team in Louisville, a heck of a player in Lamar Jackson. Still, in my opinion, nothing's changed. That's the best player in college football. And, our defense did a good job of putting pressure on him. But, that is a really, really good football team. Questions?
Tom, a little bit more on capitalizing. You guys obviously scored on that very first possession after you get the fumble. You get the deflected TD, how you guys continued to capitalize and score. Just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think, anytime you get a short field or you get momentum or you, have a little, break go your way down there, that it's, momentum is a very, very powerful thing in college football. Maybe not as much in the National Football League because they're grown men and, it's a job for them. But momentum is a very powerful thing in college football when you're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds. And let me say this, too. What an unbelievable crowd, too, right? I mean, how many false start penalties did they have? They were loud. They were in it. They continued to be loud in the third quarter where, we gave up a score and our offense had a couple 3-and-outs. So hats off to our students. Hats off to our fans. I think we set a record. Is that correct, David? An attendance record tonight. And it really goes to show you how powerful this stadium can be when filled and how it can directly impact wins. And really thankful to have the turnout that we had tonight.
Tom, can you kind of take us through the craziness there after the game on the field when you're getting off the midfield, just everybody swarming and what that felt like?
It felt smothering. It's emotionally it's a great feeling because you know that you've made your fans very, very proud and they're very excited and they want to relish in the win with you. And that's a great feeling. But, again, as the head coach, I got business to do. I got to do interviews and all that good stuff. And credit to the security staff for kind of keeping me upright and not falling and getting me in the right place at the right time. But really, really neat to see the investment in our team that our fans have and how excited they get when we win big games like that. Yeah, I think that definitely should be an expectation. I'm not going to tell them when to get excited and when not. That's certainly not for me to judge. It's our expectation. Nobody in that locker room was surprised. But and understandably, the month of October that we had, I think, nobody wavered in our locker room, but I think there might have been some doubt maybe by some people and thought that we weren't as good a team maybe as we knew we were. And, if they think it's worthy, then it's worthy. I don't really have an opinion on it.
Tom, can you talk about that emotional experience you had with each one of your seniors coming out there at the beginning of the game? You only got 2 years as a part of some of those guys' lives, but that impact that you have and that individual embrace you have with each and every last one of them coming out?
Oh, man, it's hard to put into words. I appreciate you asking, but this program wouldn't be where it's at, 6-0 against top 25 teams, 3-0 against top 10 teams, 2-0 against top 5 teams, if not for those seniors. They're the winningest senior class in the storied history of this great football program, and that's for a reason. There's a bunch of men of character in that class, and guys that and I say we as a coaching staff, we as a team, we as a football program, we as an athletic department, we as the University of Houston, and we as the city of Houston owe those guys a tremendous debt of gratitude for the sacrifices that they've made for this program and for this university and for this city. And I told them I loved them, and I thanked them for everything that they've done. And I think that love and appreciation was reciprocated as well.
To build on that, Coach, how does it feel to send them off with a win like this at home, the seniors?
Oh, it feels great. They deserve it. They deserve it. It's hard to win football games, and we played good enough tonight to win, and it's a great moment for them that they'll remember forever. But last I checked, we got another game next week too, so we're going to celebrate the heck out of this one. But we've got a chance to go win 10 regular season games and put ourselves in position for a very, very good bowl game, so that we can truly send these guys out the way they deserve to be sent out. This was just, a step on that journey of sending them out and being at their last home game. But there's still a lot of football left for those guys.
Tom, in the last 2 years, you guys have played your 3 top-ranked teams: Florida State in the Peach Bowl, Oklahoma in the season opener, and this game, Louisville. You haven't found a way to win them. You've dominated at times against top 10, top 3 teams in the country. What does it say about this team, the coaching staff, Todd Orlando, Major Applewhite, the whole unit to be able to do this and not just win these games, steal them, but at times absolutely dominate top 5 caliber opponents?
Before I answer that, can I ask you a question? Can you define self-promotion for me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Promoting yourself. You're doing whatever you need to do to promote yourself. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I think our guys, they embrace the underdog role. They came here, with really bad facilities, really bad, pretty much everything, and they chose to come here for a reason, and they chose to come here because they knew they would be the underdog, I think, a little bit. And most of these guys are 2- and 3-star recruits that really their whole careers has had chips on their shoulders. And, you want to say, they get up for big games, but that's not the case. We played really hard against Navy. We just didn't play good. We played really hard against SMU. We just didn't play good. But when we play hard and we play good, we can, at least our 1s and 2s. When you start diving into our 1s and key backups, when you start diving into the 2s and 3s like we did in that stretch of October, we're just not built yet from a development standpoint to win week after week with our key guys missing. But when we're healthy, when we're fresh, and we have that chip on our shoulder against big-time opponents, I think, again, we don't change the way we prepare for these kind of games, but I do think our guys have an added motivation knowing that, again, they were 2- and 3-star recruits that probably nobody really believed in, and they came to the University of Houston with really, kind of a bare bones, from a amenity standpoint, and we're fixing that day by day, and we're getting better recruits day by day, but these guys really love to play with that chip on their shoulder, and it's fun to watch.
Tom, can you talk about the
And I'm
fact?
just giving you a hard time, Brian. I like you.
Tom, you talk about. Last year you had a game stats jumped out, but this one stat jumps. One penalty for 5 yards. How locked in these guys.
Yeah, I was really excited to see that. We're again, when our ones are out there, when we're fresh, we're healthy, and the guys that we count on play after play are there. Not only are they really good players, but they're very disciplined players. And we kept talking about what were the mistakes that we made in the couple losses that we had, and it was guys trying to do too much and trying to do things that they're not trained to do. And it wasn't defiance, it wasn't lack of discipline, it was really just a lack of responding to adversity. And for them to go out and play in a game of this magnitude, especially how loud it was, to again have one penalty for 5 yards, I think again they had a number of penalties on their side. A lot of them false starts by just sheer crowd noise. But really proud that our guys played that discipline, that locked in.
Along those same lines of trying to do too much, with Greg, it's his senior day, big crowd, he's got Lamar Jackson on the other side. Did you feel like that not trying to do too much was kind of perfect way to describe the way that he played?
Played a great game. Missed some throws that I think he knows he missed. We knew we were going to have to throw it to win against these. They have a chance to win. Because, if you can't run it effectively against, Tulane and Central Florida, probably not going to run it against one of the top 10 defenses in the country. So our game plan was to throw the football, to win it, and he played within himself. He, made really, really good reads. He scrambled when he needed to scramble. He didn't force balls. We protected the football on offense. 0 turnovers again offensively for the second week in a row. And, when you protect the football and you play within the system, good things happen.
Is that where the maturity of having a senior quarterback really helps?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, Greg's been in a bunch of these games now, a bunch, and he's won them all. And to have that experience and to have the knowledge of how to play in these games and how to execute the game plan and what really he can do, the things that he could do to really kind of lose the game for us, he stayed away from. He didn't force balls. He didn't try to do too much. He didn't reverse field a bunch and try to make, chicken salad out of chicken you-know-what. He took what was there, and when he missed some throws, he didn't get down on himself, and he knew we were going to keep coming back to the throw game, and, credit to him for really playing about as poised a game as I've seen him play in a long time.
How important was at Aldridge's penetration up the middle tonight to helping to limit Louisville? And is there any truth to the rumor that he might be like part alien or something?
There might be some truth to that. I don't know. If you believe in aliens, he's certainly one to look at for sure. But no, Ed's penetration has been a key for our defense and really the whole D line. I thought Nick Thurman, just standing on the sideline, had a great game penetration wise. I thought B.J. Singleton, Gerard Carter, Cam Malval, all those guys really pushed the pocket and allowed a lot of those blitzers some lanes to get free in. And but yeah, Ed's a freak of nature when it comes to explosiveness and getting off the football.
Tom, there were times when you, through the media or as a coach, you challenge the team, you challenge the guys, and at times you kind of question the leaders and said, hey, we need to be stronger, we need to lead ourselves better. What does it say about this team to drop a couple games, become unranked, and not go this way, to go the exact opposite way and really have the biggest home upset in this entire program's history?
They're grown men, I mean, they really are. They're mature, and they're still learning how to be great leaders. And I think, the adversity that hit us, for a few weeks there really taught them. Sometimes adversity is the best teacher. And we had multiple discussions with them about how to handle this and about, where to go from here. And they responded very well, and credit to their coaches. Their coaches are around them much more than I am. And they really, our guys are great teachers. And they teach not just the game of football, but they teach them how to lead and how to be men of character and how to respond to adversity. And I thought we saw, the second half of Central Florida was kind of that aha moment where we realized that great positive leadership can go a long, long way. And we displayed that in that second half. We displayed it against Tulane, and then obviously in this game, the leaders really came to the forefront.
Tom, during the 18, 20 months we've been working with you, we've hit different turning points. What's the biggest this, that? Where does this one stack up now on the things you've done in your less than 2 years here?
Good. I would say, again, I think the Central Florida game is probably my proudest win for the team in terms of responding to a ridiculous amount of adversity when your back was, against the wall farther than it's probably ever been in our 2 years here. This one's up there, no doubt. A lot of our big wins have come not in this stadium. And, the Peach Bowl, the one at NRG against Oklahoma, and, the Temple game was in this stadium. That was a huge, huge win. And then this one to have our fans, I believe it's the highest ranked opponent we played on campus ever, and to be able to beat them and beat them handily was, I'm really proud for our guys and proud for the University of Houston.
What about Dayton Roy's pass?
Felt like it was in the air for 9 seconds. But no, that's something we've been practicing really probably since the third or fourth week. We put it in, and once it was established that, Byron Simpson was going to be our deep snapper for good, he's an eligible, he wears 89, an eligible receiver number. And, credit to Jason Washington, our special teams coordinator, for coming up with that one to shift everybody over there, make him the end man on the line of scrimmage. And it helps to, when you're 6'7", to be able to see over some of those guys, and just really well executed. And, again, it's a product of preparation. We rep that play twice a week now for 10 weeks. And when we called it in arguably the biggest game of the season, our guys executed.
What about the lateral to Linnell and then the pass to Chance?
Yeah, great call. I thought Major Applewhite called a great game. We knew we needed to stay aggressive, and when you're up 21, on the number 3 team in the country, I think, I know as a former play caller that, human nature is, okay, let's get conservative. And, not to that play specifically because I was earlier in the game, but I thought Major did a great job of staying aggressive in his play calling, knowing that the game plan, we needed that in the game plan to move the football. And then that call, if you remember, we actually called that exact same play against Navy last year in the last game of the season. We threw a lateral to DeMarcus Ayers, and I think Linnell Bonner was on the receiving end of it for a touchdown against Navy, and then Major dialed it up at the perfect time. Linnell threw a great pass, and again, that's a play we've been repping for weeks.
Tom, I almost get the feeling you saw this coming, and I wondered if you were that confident. And I'd also like to know how you handle all the distractions that you have to deal with your future and everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me get that one out of the way first. There's no distractions, just open, honest communication with our team and the guys in that room. I love like my own sons, and I mean that. And I'm always going to be honest with my sons, and I'm going to let them know any information that they need to know. And I think that really keeps them at ease, and they know never to worry about anything unless it comes from my mouth. But the expectation, I think you're right. My wife actually texted me earlier today, and she said, "Are you nervous?" I said, "Not really." And she said, "Why?" And I said, because our kids are going to play really hard, and they're going to give it their best shot. And if our best shot isn't good enough to win, then so be it. But I knew that our guys were going to play like they did tonight. I knew they were going to play inspired. They were going to play impassioned. They were going to play with genuine love in their hearts. And then I knew if then we combine that passion and energy and love with execution, that, again, we can play with anybody in the country. So I don't know that I expected it. I don't know that I was confident. I knew that through the week of preparation that these guys, having been around them, especially for 2 years, knowing that we were healthy, we were fresh, we were excited to play, that we were going to give it our best shot. And when you give it your best shot, and sometimes you give it your best shot and you're not good enough. And I've been on some teams like that, and that's an awful feeling, where you need the other team to implode for you to win. And that's not the case here. Our best is good enough to play with anybody in the country, and I think we proved that again tonight.
Tom, the value of what you did, packed house here against that team on national television, and get it done coast to coast.
Well, what's the question?
What is the value of what it means to the program?
Well, I think the value is, Renew Couture, our great president, says it all the time. Athletics is the front porch to the university, and to have that kind of exposure on national TV, the only game on tonight, I believe, against a team of the caliber of Louisville, I think just again is just another notch in the belt of validation to where this university is headed, to where this program is headed, and the things that we, not just as a program, but as a university, can accomplish in the future.